With the first week of the preseason out of the way, it's time to talk Super Bowl odds. It's really never too early to discuss those, and I'm joined by our handicapping expert, Mike Wilkening. And Mike, let's get started with the top. Who are the teams that have the best odds to win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, the three teams that are at the top of the list, looking at William Hill's odds in Nevada, are three perennial favorites. The Patriots, the Packers, the 49ers. Makes a bunch of sense on New England's end of things. They're a blue chip team. The Packers have a huge backing. And when you look at San Francisco, very good last year. California's proximity to Nevada, they've been bet pretty heavily at a couple other books, the MGM ones particularly. So it's not surprising to see that these three brand name teams are at the top. They all were very good last year, and obviously bettors are backing them pretty, robustly to this point.
Yeah, the 49ers have certainly been kind of a sexy pick so far this preseason, returning that entire defense. But let's look at some of the more fun picks and maybe more realistic picks for the bettors out there. When you look at some of the middle bets, who are some of the teams that you really like, and maybe who's your best bet as a Super Bowl pick?
I think the middle tier of odds this year is where the value is. You can find some really intriguing teams at that level. You look at Pittsburgh at 16-1. That's intriguing to me. They're certainly capable of winning the AFC. Baltimore, 17-1. Same thing. That's a good price on a team that you know is probably going to be pretty good. Defending Super Bowl champions are 20-1. That's great. You don't see that very often. So, that's a great value. But if I had to pick one team above all that I like more this year from a Super Bowl odds perspective, it's Atlanta at 30-1. Because I think Atlanta is going to be better than the public probably thinks it's going to be. I think they're the clear favorites in that division. I think they could take a big step forward. At 30-1, that's a very nice price in a team you believe in.
Yeah, you brought up a good point there. The defending champion Giants have kind of not gotten a whole lot of respect all offseason. You can really see it when you look at those Super Bowl odds. Well, Mike, I'm a Northwestern guy, so I know about long shots. So I want to ask you about a good long shot pick for a Super Bowl.
A team that really interests me from a talent perspective, a team you're very familiar with, and I think we can agree on this, Kevin, the Buffalo Bills have improved their talent pretty significantly in the offseason. And I think the AFC is the more wide open conference. I think there's a clear favorite in New England. I think they have to be favored. But you look at Buffalo, you're 50-1, add Mario Williams, the defense is better. They can run the ball. They've got an explosive passing game. They're not the worst flyer I've seen at 50-1. A lot of things would probably have to break their way, but at 50-1, you've got a little bit of a cushion. You can take a chance there at that price.
Well, we know Buffalo fans are very excited. Expectations out there higher than they've been in the past. To check out all of Mike's handicapping analysis, including his recent story about odds to win the wide receiver title, head to our website at profootballweekly.com.